Hi all, we are going to talk about Python fundamentals today, and we are going to learn few basics of Python. And so what we have done, we have created a module 1, and I would be uploading 1.1, 1.2. Like this, I would be uploading the modules on a daily basis. And we would be covering like interactive and script mode and regular expressions and built-in functions and so on. And next, what we see, yes, the Python is derived from these pictures. Yes, what we see, it's the pictures of the snakes. Yes. And the history of Python, yes, we talk about the Monty Python's Flying Circus, from where the name was derived. And it was created by Godot van Rossum, and it's derived from many other languages, including ABC, Modular, C, C++. And yes, it got its name from Monty Python Flying Circus, and from where we got Python, the name. And it is a general purpose, interpreted, interactive, object oriented, and high level language. We would explain each and every term in detail in the next few slides. And yes, it was released in 1991, and it supports both 32 and 64-bit integers and word size. And when we talk about Python, yes, it has a few advantages. Python is a high-level language. It is, it just looks like a normal English, and it is most compatible with the human language. So that's why we call it a high-level language. And Python is interpreted. Python is processed at runtime by the interpreter. So you do not need to compile your program before executing it. So it's done at the runtime. And Python is object-oriented, and we call it Python as as a beginner's language. And yes, Python is interactive. Yes, you can type into Python prompt and interact with the interpreter directly to write a program. So that makes it very easy. And coming to the features of Python, it's very easy to learn. It's very easy to learn, easy to maintain, portable, and interpreted, extensible. And yes, free and open source it is. Yes, we can use it. And high level language, as I already discussed, that it is very near to the human language what we speak. And scalable, yes. And the main thing what we talk about, does it use interpreter or compiler? Yes, that is a very big question. And how we need to understand how it works actually. First of all, an interpreter is a program which also converts a high-level program language like Python into a machine code. So that is the job of an interpreter. And especially when we talk about in Python, compilation takes place where the code compiles into a simpler, or smaller, I would say, form called bytecodes. And bytecodes are executed by Python virtual machines, and yes, which emulates a simplified execution environment. So that is very important to understand. And the first step of an interpreter is to read a Python code or instructions. And it then checks the syntax of each line and verifies if the instruction is well formatted. The interpreter can display the errors of each line one by one. So that is the best. So it's very interactive. So whenever there's an error, we get to know, yes, there is an error. And yes, you should know, as a programmer, you should understand what is the difference between a compiler and an interpreter. Compiler takes entire program as input, whereas the interpreter takes single instruction as input. Intermediate object code is generated as far as compiler is concerned. And in case of interpreter, there's no intermediate object code is generated. So there's nothing that is being generated first. And conditional control statements are executes faster in case of compiler because it just executes in the form of a block, so it executes faster. And while in interpreter it is slower. Memory requirement is more because single object code is generated, and memory requirement is less. Yes, we talked about because line by line it would be interpreting the code. Program need not be compiled every time because once you have compiled the program, you have it ready and it doesn't need to be compiled again and again. Whereas in case of interpreter, yes, you have to run it again and again. And in case of compiler, errors are displayed after entire program is checked. So you only get to know the errors once the entire program is checked. whereas for every instruction that is interpreted, you get an error in case there's an error. So it's very interactive. And when we talk about compiler, yes, C compiler is used as an example, and interpreter would be the best example, would be a Python. So that would be for as of now for today. Tomorrow we talk about further in detail for Python. Thank you and have a wonderful day ahead.